All right, now to a News Nation exclusive on a story we've been covering for more than 3 years. After the 2023 train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, where 5 tank cars full of vinyl chloride burned, residents were sick almost immediately, suffering from rashes and nosebleeds and respiratory issues. Well, renowned exposure warnings expert Stephen Petty was hired to come in and test the residents' soil for toxins and analyze all other testing being conducted on behalf of attorneys in a class action lawsuit. His test results and his analysis, which are the most comprehensive data set yet to date, have never been released to the public. Our investigative correspondent Rich McHugh obtained those results and spoke exclusively with Petty about his findings. Rich joins us now from East Palestine. This is a big deal, Rich. What did you learn?
Yeah, this is a huge deal, Elizabeth. You know, I think this is by far one of the most important, if not the most important story we have reported from East Palestine since this all began. You know, Petty's data paints an alarming picture of the reality here in East Palestine, and this is the first time any of it is coming to light. When they chose to burn 5 tankers full of vinyl chloride over East Palestine, the black plume of toxins looked biblical. It smothered the region within minutes. Residents were sick almost immediately.
My eyes feel like they're gonna fall out of my head.
The creeks running through town horribly contaminated. Renowned exposure warnings expert Stephen Petty came to test the soil and water for residents. Petty has testified as an expert witness in over 400 cases.
But the problem by releasing it the way they did is they're going to create an air, soil, and water pollution problem. Guaranteed.
The CDC gave residents a sober assessment of the situation.
One thing that we can agree on, the exposure happened. It happened. We have symptoms.
Petty had been hired by class action attorneys as their testing expert. And when they negotiated a $600 million settlement with Norfolk Southern, they did not release Petty's results, even to their own clients. We have obtained Petty's results, and he agreed to speak with us. Are there carcinogens in the soil in East Palestine?
Yes.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
Very high level?
Above screening levels, which means you can't walk away from it.
So fair for residents to be concerned?
Of course.
Petty says his testing data and the others he analyzed show they detected dioxins and PAHs, some of the most carcinogenic compounds on the planet, above cancer screening levels set by the EPA, which requires further testing and analysis.
Somewhere between 50 and 70% of the data points, whether they be for dioxins or for PAHs, exceeded screening levels.
Cancer screening levels?
Cancer screening levels. That means that you can't just walk away. You have to do something. You have to do further analysis to see what needs to be done from a remediation standpoint, and you also have to do further analysis to determine what it means for people in that environment. We can't just walk away from those results. There is a problem there.
Independent testing expert Scott Smith also came to test on his own. He found elevated levels of dioxins as well.
It's astounding in that it was suppressed. 49% of the testing exceeds the EPA cancer screening level. 70% of Stephen Petty's data and analysis shows polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons above the EPA cancer screening level. It lines up exactly with my data.
Residents we spoke with say that's not what class action attorneys told them.
Petty's test results were always really secret. They said it would hurt the case.
They told me that in my home, basically that the numbers didn't support the outcome of the $600 million. The numbers weren't bad enough, and if they revealed them to the court, the $600 million may not even go through because the contamination levels were not bad enough.
Linda Murphy shared a recording with us from that meeting with class counsel.
The data is nowhere near as bad as we thought it was going to be when this first happened. It's almost unprovably bad. The chemicals did not persist long enough at quantities that will expose people over the necessary period of time to produce long-term health effects that are associated directly to this exposure.
Austin Druckenbrod says he asked his attorney about both Scott Smith and Stephen Petty's test results.
And He said they're hacks and Scott Smith doesn't know what he's talking about, and neither does Stephen Petty. And he said, don't believe them.
We've reviewed text messages from his attorney that appear to back up what he's saying.
These attorneys told them that the Stephen Petty information would not support the claims. And that is not true.
My first impressions when I seen Stephen Petty's results was this is fraudulent, this is concealment, this is manipulation.
Instead of sharing Petty's results, class action attorneys enlisted a local toxicologist to film a video that was played for residents.
The levels that people were exposed to in the community were so small that we don't expect any kinds of cancers or other health effects to have resulted from those.
The multiple people saying there's nothing to see here, but there are no issues, are just flat out either lying or wrong.
Arch Carson told everyone that he would expect no cancers as a result of this exposure. No cancers. And there are cancers developing almost every week in East Palestine, and someone dying of cancer almost every month.
These residents are among nearly 90 others fighting in court to rescind their participation in the settlement, alleging substantial evidence of fraud and misrepresentation by class counsel, who concealed critical expert findings about health risks while inducing class members to sign personal injury releases in exchange for inadequate personal injury payments. Their motion was denied. They just filed an appeal alleging that class counsel's own expert, Stephen Petty, held opinions materially adverse to the settlement that were not disclosed before opt-in.
And they knew darn well.
I was duped. I played into their dog and pony show.
I believe I was manipulated. I believe there was fraud. And I have a future, and my future is going to rely on proving the bad actors that they were wrong.
Now, we have reached out to members of the class council as well as Dr. Chip Carson, and none of them have responded. Elizabeth?
Wow, incredible reporting, Rich. Thank you. Live from East Palestine, Ohio tonight.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.